Ang weird, no? You're looking at me. You see my face, my clothes, my movements. It's all feel clears, obviously. But technically, ang pumapasok lang naman sa utak natin are signals, electrical impulses. And somehow, your brain turns those signals into me. Hindi mo iniisip yun consciously, hindi mo siya pinipilit, it just happens. That process is called perception. In cognitive psychology, perception is how the brain organizes and interprets what we see, hear, and feel, so we can understand and interact with the world. In other words, perception is the reason why the world makes sense to us. Good day everyone! I am Felicity Pascubilio, and today, samahan niyo ako sa paglalakbay sa malawak at mahiwagang mundo ng ating kaisipan. In this journey, we will explore different perceptual phenomena mula sa mga normal at halos hindi natin napapansing tendencies ng perception hanggang sa mga unusual at mind-bending na karanasan na nagpapakita kung gaano ka-powerful at minsan kakomplikado ang ating utak. Sa bawat phenomenon, makakasama natin ang iba't ibang brain tour guides na magpapaliwanag kung ano ito, paano ito gumagana sa utak, paano natin ito nararanasan sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay, at paano ito konektado sa mga konsepto at teorya ng cognitive psychology. Because sometimes, what we perceive is not just about what is out there, but about how our brain makes sense of it. Welcome to the journey. Let's begin!
Wait, tingnan niyo to. Sa una, parang random photo lang. Parang walang meaning. Parang wala lang. Pero, after a few seconds, nakikita niyo na siya. May meaning na siya. Hindi dahil nag-iba yung picture, pero dahil inayos to ng brain natin. Hi, I'm Rain Angela, and this is where Gestalt grouping principles comes in. Gestalt principle explains how our brain naturally organizes visual information by grouping parts together to form a meaningful whole. Instead of seeing separate lines, shapes, or pieces, our brain simplifies and connects them automatically. For example, through proximity, objects that are close together are seen as one group. Though closure, kahit incomplete ang shape, binubutong ito ng ating brain to see it a complete image. And through a figure ground, we separate the main object from the background, kung anong focus at kung ano ang support. A common real-life example is solving a jigsaw puzzle. Instead of analyzing each piece individually, our brain groups similar colors and shapes to recognize the bigger picture faster. This connects to perception theory because it shows that perception is not passive, it's constructive. Our brain actively organizes sensory information using past knowledge and automatic processing. So, in Gestalt perception, the brain doesn't just see the parts, it creates the whole. And now, dito na papasok ang next phenomenon natin, which is hypoglycemia. Wait, bakit parang mali ito? This sentence is easy to read. Mali ang spelling pero nabasa ko. Kayo, guess niyo rin ba kahit sabog yung letters? Hi, I'm Eliosa Bea, and what you just experienced is called hypoglycemia. Hypoglycemia is when the middle letters of a word are jumbled, pero intact pa rin ang first and last letters. And somehow, nababasa pa rin naman natin. According to Micheleto et al. 2025, readers can still read these words quickly. And eye tracking studies shows na hindi naman talaga bumabagal ang eyes natin. And this happens because hindi letters ang binabasa ng brain natin isa-isa. Instead, it recognizes patterns and uses context. This is called top-down processing. Gumagamit ang brain natin ng prior knowledge para punuan ang incomplete or messy visual information. Tignan niyo ang nasa screen ngayon. Nabasa niyo ba? O kaya naman kapag nagmamadali kayong magbasa ng chat, kahit may typo, is naiintindihan niyo pa rin. Hindi niyo na iniisa-isa ang letters, automatic na tong makukuha yung meaning. This shows how amazing our perception is. Kahit magulo ang nakikita natin, kayang ayusin ng brain natin ito.
at it's something meaningful. Next, pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ang change and inattentional blindness.
Be honest, ilang beses na nangyari sa inyo? Oy, kanina pa ako nakatayo dito. Bigla sasabihin ng friend mo, uy, kanina pa ako nakatayo dito. Pero hindi mo naman siya nakita. Hindi dahil invisible siya, kundi busy lang talaga ang brain mo.
Hi, I'm Lara J.C. de la Peña, and today we explore change blindness and unintentional blindness. Change blindness is when may nagbago sa paligid mo pero hindi mo naman napapansin, especially kapag na-interrupt ang attention mo, like thinking or looking away. Inattentional blindness, on the other hand, happens when may obvious stimulus pero hindi mo pa rin nakikita because your attention is focused somewhere else. This happened because our brain has limited attentional capacity. Hindi ito kayang i-process lahat ng visual information at the same time. Instead, it prioritizes kung saan nakafocus ang attention natin. One famous example of change blindness is the door study by Daniel Simons and Daniel Levin.
The door study.
May stranger na nagtanong ng direction sa pedestrians habang sumasagot sila, may dalawang taong dumaan carrying a door. And behind that door, napalitan na pala ang kausap nila with completely different person. Surprisingly, many participants didn't notice the change because their attention was focused on the conversation, not on the person's physical details. In intentional blindness naman, one of the most famous experiment is the invisible gorilla study by Simons and Chabris. Participants were asked to count how many times a basketball was passed between players. But in the middle of the video, may taong naka-gorilla costume ang naglakad across the screen. And many participants didn't notice a gorilla at all. Not because it wasn't invisible or visible, but because their attention was somewhere else. This phenomena support the selective attention theory, which explains that perception depends where attention is directed. It also demonstrates top-down processing, where the brain prioritizes information based on goals, expectation, and relevance. He shows that perception is not a completely recording of reality, but an active process of selection and interpretation. Now, let's move forward in our journey with color blindness.
Let me start with a simple question. Sigurado ba tayo na pare-pareho tayo ng nakakita ng kulay? For most of us, ang red ay red, at ang green ay green. Pero for some people, those colors can look very similar. Minsan, halos hindi na ma-distinguish. Hello everyone! Marian Delatado here, and I will walk you through this condition which is known as color blindness or color vision deficiency. Ayon kay Joshi et al. 2025, nangyayari ito kapag may problem sa cone cells sa ating retina. Ito yung cells na responsible sa pag-detect ng red, green, at blue. Kapag may isang cone na hindi gumagana properly, mali or kulang ang signals na pumupunta sa ating utak. So, ang brain, kahit anong effort niya, iba ang interpretation ng kulay. Protanopia and protonomaly affects red cones, kaya mas madilim o halos magkakapareho ang red and green. Deuteranopia and deuteranomaly affect green cones at ito ang pinaka-common. Meron ding tritanopia na blue cones ang problema at mas rare types like monochromacy na puro shades of one color lang ang nakikita at achromatopsia na black, white, and gray na lang ang nakikita. Historical fun fact, John Dalton ang mismong scientist na nag-aral nito. Siya ay red-green colorblind, kaya naiintindihan niya personally ang challenge. At dahil sa kanya, mas naiintindihan ang condition. In everyday life, this can mean difficulty reading traffic lights, choosing ripe fruits, or even matching clothes. This connects to the trichromatic theory, which says we relies on three types of cones to see color. If one type doesn't work, color perception changes. It also relates to the opponent process theory, where colors are organized in opposing pairs like red versus green. So, if one side is disrupted, distinguishing between them becomes difficult. So remember, perception is not just about what's out there. It's also about how the brain interprets what the eye said. And now, let's explore agnosia with our next brain tour guide.
Teka, nasan ako? Alam ko nang sarap ko lang to. Nakikita ko siya. May mga shape, may kulay, may mga details. Pero bakit parang hindi ko magets kung ano siya? That experience is similar to what people with agnosia go through. Hi, I'm Isal Ateraza, and today we will talk about agnosia, a neurological condition where a person cannot recognize objects, faces, sounds, or even smells, even though their senses are working normally. For example, may tinatawag na visual agnosia. A person can see shapes, colors, and details, but hindi niya ma-recognize kung ano iyon. One famous example is Dr. P, described by neurologist Oliver Sacks in his book, The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Cat. He could see a glove clearly. He describes its shape and details perfectly, but he couldn't identify it as a glove. But at one point, he even mistook his wife's head for a hat. He could see, but he couldn't recognize. May iba't ibang types pa. Prosopagnosia ay hirap makilala ang familiar faces. Auditory agnosia naman ay naririnig ang sound pero hindi ma-identify. Tactile agnosia ay nahawakan ng object pero hindi alam kung ano yon without looking. This connects to the brain's ventral stream, the pathway responsible for object recognition. Kapag may damage dito, intact pa rin ang vision, but disconnected ang meaning. So agnosia proves that perception is more than just sensing. It's the brain making a meaning.
So, nandito na tayo sa dulo ng ating Perception Playhouse journey. Let's quickly recap what we discovered today. Ang Gestalt principles ay nagpapakita kung paano ino-organize ng ating utak ang visual information. Ang typoglycemia naman ay patunay na gumagamit tayo ng pattern at context. Ang change at inattentional blindness ay nagpapakita ng limitasyon sa ating attention. Ang color blindness naman ay nagpapakita ng epekto ng physical na kondisyon ng ating mga mata. At ang agnosia ay nagpapakita ng kahalagahan ng brain processing sa pag-unawa sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Overall, this topic show the perception is not passive. Ang brain natin is actively constructing reality based on sensory input, attention, context, at prior knowledge. Kaya kahit nasa harap natin ang mundo, ang nakikita natin ay isang combination ng senses at brain interpretation. So, that's our journey through the brain. So the next time you read a scrambled word, miss a color, or overlook something obvious, remember, your brain is working hard even if you don't realize it. Thank you for joining us in this exploration, and now, you don't just see the world, you perceive it.